Glasser. I was born in New York City and grew up just outside of New York, but I always would travel into the city for the culture.
My name is Lindsay. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I grew up, and then I lived in Baltimore, Washington, and finally New York.
My name is Robert Ludwig. I'm a painter. I live in New York City. This is my wife, Ruby. She's an ethnomusicologist who specializes in the music of Bali, and who is invaluable to me from time to time as a helper and critic and among other things.
My name is Katinka Mann, and I'm lucky to be one of the artists showing in this gallery.
My name is Marlena Vaccaro, and I'm the curator and director of the Carter Bergen Gallery. The gallery has been in existence for almost 7 years. We're into our 7th year. Our purpose, our mission is to support and exhibit the work of older professional artists.
My parents were both in the arts during the Depression, and so they steered me away from art. And so I studied languages in college, and then immediately started painting after I was free, and went to graduate school and studied at the Maryland Institute with Grace Hardgood for a couple of years. We had an automobile accident and I nearly died, and I was in the hospital for 6 weeks. And then I was not allowed to be alone for almost a little over a year. Somebody had to be with me day and night, and I couldn't go out alone. I mean, it was because I had to relearn to do everything. Walking, talking, reading, writing. It was a real trip. But I was out away from New York for about a year, and then I came back, and finally was allowed out again. But I couldn't, and I started working again. But I couldn't, I had for years developed this, I remembered where I had been. I'm a folk painter, and I would go out and walk the dog, take the boy to school, and I would come home and my mind would be full of images, and those images were gone after I came back from the accident. And but I set up and worked from the windows and from pictures and stuff. And then one day I took, about a year and a half after the accident, I took my son to school one day. Beautiful November morning, gray, my favorite kind. And I came back to the studio and sat down. My mind was full of images again. And I've been working steadily ever since.
When I was in high school, I went to the Art Students League on the weekends, and it was a wonderful opening into a world of drawing, of painting, of being exposed to ideas that were not available to me, even though I lived just very close to the city, just outside of the city.
I became interested in art in my early 20s, and what really inspired me was landscape. I loved, and I was a landscape painter for 10 years. So it's interesting, I did that many, many years ago, and I am still interested in the very same things I was interested when I was a landscape painter.
I was studying physics, and I found that I became aware that it wasn't really satisfying me as wonderful as it was, and I guess I was casting around to find out what I wanted to do, and I took an art course, elementary course, and I liked what I was doing, so I got more and more interested in it and decided to pursue it.
No doubt about it, you just have to be in it. I'm taking a wonderful course given by Creative Capital. And the first thing she said, the first session, it's first of all, the course is given online. You cannot do anything today without having technology. Even, being an art, you have a card to introduce yourself, to give to people. You have to have a website. And what is a website? It's all about technology. And how do you get the best in it? You get it by looking around at other things that have to do with technology. So even if you don't like it, you don't want it, it's here to stay. There's no doubt about it. You just gotta grow with it.
The only way I use technology is to deal with the outside world, which in one way it's a lot better. The days when you had to schlep around the galleries with your slides, that was real dumb. And now it's so much easier to have PDFs and send it off, and it just makes more sense. So that part of technology is useful, and but as far as in the work itself, no, it's really people to people.
Sure. Well, first thing, I have a website, and that took quite a bit to put together, which, as I said before, you cannot do it unless you really go into technology. I have been very interested in light, in depth, in shadow, in colors. But right now, I don't want to have that hand look. I want to have that elimination of the hand altogether. So I have my works not done by my hand, but done by a machine. And that's really great because it has the light that I love. It has the luminosity that is absolutely compelling to me. And it has all the other things. Even my drawings are cut by laser. They are not cut by me. I make them, and I make them to size, but they're not cut by me. They're cut by a machine.
I am a dinosaur, and that is why I participated in this program, to become familiar with more contemporary modes of mostly social media, but also to be open to new ways.
The technology workshops are an amazing part of what we offer. Many of the artists cannot submit work, not only to us, but to other galleries, because everything is digital. And many of them don't have the skills to take the photographs of the work, to send the photographs to galleries that are requesting JPEGs. So everything that they certainly don't know how to operate within all the social media platforms. So all of the volunteer students and interns, especially particularly from CASE, that have been working with artists, are absolutely broadening their opportunities to participate in other galleries.
Helped me quite a bit, I think, in learning how to use Facebook. And certainly it's convenience to be able to use a camera with a really fine lens to photograph my work. The photographic technology is fantastic.
So I've been learning about Pinterest and Facebook and Instagram, and also, a very practical information that I got with Joy is how to use the photo gallery and Google Photo to edit my photos, and then to share them on social media. So that is something that I'm very excited and feel very comfortable to do.
A lot of it cuts off the human quality. I think it's very important, for instance, the body language when you're talking to somebody. I can't stand to talk to somebody if I can't see them. I'll follow them so that I can communicate. I don't like phone conversations if I can help it for the same reason. So where that's going to lead us in art, I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything that excited me about where it's going. But that doesn't mean I won't. I mean, I'm not, my mind isn't closed. I mean, there are all sorts of new things happening technologically all the time, so something may come up with.
I think the world moves forward, we hope. And I can understand why people would, this is what's presented in the field of art. I know a lot of art programs have been disbanded and then they've become design programs and become almost virtual concepts rather than an actual object. I just hope that people who are working with technology do have a chance to use their hands to make something.
It's unbelievable. There's no limits. The only limits are really to a person's imagination. But if they keep that mystery inside of them, which is the same thing that you really need when you're in doing art by hand, it's the same ingredients. You have to be creative. You have to hold that mystery in your whole psyche and always be working towards it. So I don't see technology, I think it's another field. I think it's essential, but I think you need the same qualities no matter what kind of art you do.
You have to find the right teacher, someone who's willing to work with, understand that it's new, that it might be scary, and to be able to guide you slowly at your pace to learn it, and I think most people can do it.
The only thing I say is keep working at it, and maybe you'll get comfortable enough with it that you're controlling it and it's not controlling you.
You know, the computer is so fantastic. They have YouTube, they have lessons. I mean, there isn't anything that you want to do that you can't find out about. There's courses online. You don't even have to leave home. It is unbelievable how things can be easy. And yet, you have that wonderful option. There are so many schools, especially in New York. You have everything from A to Z. So there's no excuse. You could go wherever you want to go. Wherever your heart wants to go, you could go there.